Fanatical Massholes show is sponsored by Big Belly Barbecue. If you're looking to get a plate or looking to try something different, hit up Timothy Brunfield on Facebook. Fat Boy the Chef on Instagram. Big Belly Barbecue is the name of his company. He specializes in fried lobster tail, lobster mac and cheese, Cajun wings, the works, etc., etc. He has all that and more. Like I said, if you're looking to get catered, he'll take care of you. You will not be disappointed. Big Belly Barbecue is the name of his company. Fat Boy the Chef on Instagram. Timothy D. Brunfield on Facebook. Check him out. All right, let's get to the show.
Platinum. Guess what? We coming back at you. Sure will. We ain't playing no games. We gonna cross that finish line, y'all. I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'm across the finish line. Finish line. I'ma go out there, get mine. As a motherfucking beat drop. Tell you something now, I'm hip hop. Ain't nowhere for hell that I'ma stop. I'ma set it on fire on every block. As I'm pippin' in my fast car. I'm racing like, whoa, I like this NASCAR. Music bumpin', I don't care who don't like it. With my Lamborghini, yeah, I'm just so excited. Fuck the tennis streets up.
What up? What's good? Good evening.
Oh my God.
Big Game 7 energy pause. This is the Fanatical Massholes show. So where we give you our unedited, unfiltered, unapologetic opinion about everything that's going on in sports today. It's been a minute. Glad to see y'all. We missed y'all. Alongside my brothers, my compadres, Insane Lex, all the rent. It's your boy Mizzo. What is the dilly, fellas?
You know what the word is. What it is.
Trying to stay cool in this goddamn heat.
Yeah, man, we call it heat waves. It's hot out this joint. We hot out this joint. All right, y'all. We got a good show for y'all today, man. We're going to get into the topic that's been kind of sweeping the nation. Ring culture. LeBron brought it up. It seems like every time LeBron speaks on something, it goes crazy. Like LeBron is still, that's why LeBron is still the face of the NBA. He says something and it just take off like wildfire. We'll get into that. Obviously, it's Game 7. NBA Finals. This is it. All the marbles. You know what I mean?
Pacers.
I was way off because I thought OKC was ending this thing quick. Indiana showed me something a lot more than what I thought they were. They're a damn good team. So we're going to give you our picks there. We might throw a little Jimmy in there, man. Jimmy has some things to say. Jimmy's been on a little run, man. Jimmy's been going on a little run. Jim Jones, I'm talking about. You know, we're going to switch a little topics, man. Again, Fanatical Massholes. We ain't just fanatics about sports. You know what I'm saying? We like anything. You know what I'm saying? Hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? All type of stuff. Hand gliding. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
But he was on a sports show talking shit. So.
So we'll get in a little bit of that as well. All right. And before we keep it going, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment.
Support, goddammit.
Support the movement.
Yes, sir.
The damn movement. All right, here we go. All right. So LeBron is talking about ring culture. And why is it the end all be all? Let's listen to what he got to say. Hold on 1 second.
Sport and why it's the all be all of everything. Like, okay, you weren't a great player if you never won a championship. Yeah. It's like, or if you won one, then you can't be in the same conversation with this person. It's like,
but that's a great point because what you're saying is like, no matter what you have, you need more. No matter what. Right. No matter what. They can never end.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. It's just like, you sit here and tell me, you know, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash, wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys because this guy won one ring or won 2 rings or one, like, it's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in these sports. I don't know why.
All right. For one, I'm gonna do what everybody else has done to LeBron all week. Okay, Peyton Manning has 2 championships. 1. 2. Look, I don't know what it was like in the 70s or in the early 80s, but I know since I've been around watching sports, ring culture's always been a thing. They said it about Jordan. You know what I mean? Greatest player on the team, can't win, can't even get out the first round, can't get past the bad boy Pistons, can't get past the Celtics. Till he finally won one run. Oh my goodness. One won one in 1991 against the Lakers. He got the monkey off his back. LeBron James, speaking of himself, when he won, what was his 2 words? Again, somebody's already said this, but what is his 2 words? When they handed him the trophy in Miami, he said it's about damn time. Steve Young, remember what Steve Young did? She said they don't do it in football. When Steve Young was basically trying to get out of Joe Montana's shadow in San Francisco, and they smashed San Diego in the Super Bowl, what was the first thing he did? He walked over to one of his offensive linemen and said, "Hey, get this monkey off my back," proverbial, obviously. Basically saying, "Yo, I did it. I got one." Because they was on him. So to me, I don't know what LeBron's talking about saying it's only in the NBA and it just started now with him. Nah, ring culture's been like that. When Clyde Drexler won the championship with the Rockets, the first words he said was how sweet it is. Because they was like, yo, you might be the second greatest shooting guard ever. Second or third, and you ain't got a chip. You know what I'm saying?
I think
it's always been a culture.
What LeBron is really talking about as far as like he just means acknowledgement. Because we can sit here, we got so many great players.
They've been acknowledging them.
And but I'm saying though, a lot of motherfuckers won't bring them up certain players in conversation, even though we know they greats. They won't bring them up in conversations because they don't have a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at AI, you look at Karl Malone, you look at other great players who been dogging the game but just never got to the promised land to get that ring. That's what I think. You know what I'm saying?
I think he being touchy because niggas keep saying Jordan got more rings than him, and they keep putting them niggas side by side. You know what I'm saying?
That's the debate that needs to stop happening too, though.
Young and old though, it don't matter. Both of them got rings, so
they got rings, but they keep saying, well,
right,
you the GOAT, but Jordan's the GOAT too. But Jordan got more rings than you.
Vice versa, yeah. It's a debate that needs to stop. It's a debate that needs to definitely stop.
Well, I mean, that's just like wherever. What was that I seen on Twitter a long time ago? Jerry Rice. He was down there in Philly. He brought all his rings and put them on all fingers. You dig what I'm saying? Like to show, like I am that man. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what you're making my point.
Able, but I'm thinking what he might be saying is that's kind of like dissing the ones, not really throwing no shade at the ones who probably haven't got to a championship. But that's kind of almost like, yeah, we only gonna keep the ones who actually got there in conversation, and the ones who got closer just didn't make it, but they still great players and Hall of Famers. They just couldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. What conversation can you not bring AI in when you're talking about basketball, even though he don't got a ring?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought. Well, you just made my point. Like he's saying, people talk about AI. Maybe not Patrick Ewing to an extent because who we went against. Olajuwon. Charles Barkley went against Jordan the one time he went to the finals, and we seen what happened there. Allen Iverson carried that Philly 76ers
That's what I'm about to say. A lot of these dudes were great players. They just didn't have the
pieces around him. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Right, but what is he? But they should still be coming up in the same conversation as the ones who do.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like they shouldn't. It shouldn't be no. Oh no, you can't talk about him because he ain't got no ring. No, motherfuckers know who AI is. Motherfuckers know what he was doing. Motherfuckers know what Barkley was doing. Motherfuckers know what them other players was doing. Motherfuckers knew what Patrick Ewing was doing. He was
so you did put it like this. Just stats. Take away rings. Where do you have AI? Ranked of all time.
Ranked of all time?
Yeah, Allen Iverson. Where do you have him ranked all time? It's off your head. You don't got to think go crazy. You don't got to go crazy. Just off your head. Where would you have him at? 1 to 75.
Between one. Well, I'm saying, well, because of my age, I'm gonna say between 1 to 10 for me.
Okay. All right. Okay.
He would be in my top 10. And I'm only saying that because I think all of us can relate that the gap where we came into and learning basketball, even though it was so many greats before us, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much thinking all of our lists would kind of be like the same. He was one of them guys that was in the 90s and the 2000s.
He's top 20. He's top 20 for sure to me. AI was that guy, man.
But you got to understand, me and Miz was remember in the 80s, like the late 80s and the mid 80s, like basketball players. So, but you're like a little bit younger than niggas, so you probably don't remember like he was saying, Clyde Drexler's and the Patrick Ewings when they was killing shit, and Sean Kemp and all them niggas.
How old is Lex? Lex, how old are you?
I'm 42. I know about
the same age as me.
Oh shit!
I know about all the
you old?
Like coming up, because you got to think about it. AI and them was in that class when they was in college in like the early to mid 90s and just coming out. You know what
And
I'm
Ray
saying?
Allen, Marcus Camby, and them. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
all
yep,
of them.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, I know about the Dirty Pistons, Joe Dumars, Isaiah Thomas. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers, Magic Johnson, Lottie Peabody. You know what I'm saying? James Worthy. You know what I'm saying? Like Boston, Larry Bird. Of course, that was my first white boy I ever liked it in the NBA. To be honest with you, because he had a wicked ass J.
Look, I don't think I'm gonna say it like this. This is how I look at ring culture. And again, I disagree with him with just that it's just the NBA because there's a lot of dudes in the NFL. Maybe okay, you know what? I'm gonna give you that. Randy Moss probably don't get as much scrutiny. Terrell Owens don't probably get as much scrutiny as, say, a Charles Barkley. You know what I'm saying? A Steve Nash, a Tracy McGrady, a James Harden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like James Harden's starting to get scrutiny. So maybe they don't get as much scrutiny, but maybe so maybe
And
he's right.
I think
He
another
might be
thing too is
right.
like
You know
for
what?
football, they don't be
He
trying to
might be
put
right.
like other like linebackers next to other linebackers saying, "Oh, he's the GOAT." No, he's the
Yes,
GOAT.
they do.
They do in certain instances, but
They
not all.
definitely
You think
put-
they do it?
definitely
You
put-
do it? You think they do it as much as they do with like Jordan and
Nah, they don't. I'm saying
No.
with the GOAT debate, the GOAT debate in the NFL is talked about all the time now, especially with Patrick Mahomes coming up. It's either Tom Brady. Some people still got Joe Montana in there. Now, as far as that's quarterbacks, as far as players, period, some people's gonna put Jim Brown in there, Lawrence Taylor in there, Walter Payton. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that in there.
No, I'm
You know what I
saying
mean?
put them
So
next to other like players, like trying to compare him, like, oh, he ain't as good as da 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 da. Like,
yeah,
you
with the
know how they do with
quarterbacks, they do
Jordan
it with the
and
quarterback.
Jordan and LeBron and shit.
They're doing that. They're doing that with Mahomes and Brady right now. If Mahomes would have won that third straight Super Bowl, a lot of people would have had Mahomes as the GOAT, which is crazy because he only would have had 4 and Brady's got 7. But that was the running argument leading up to the Super Bowl. If the Chiefs 3-peat, Mahomes would have been. A lot of people would have put Mahomes ahead of Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? So it happens. It doesn't happen like it's not as heated as it is with Jordan and LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So I get where LeBron's coming from, but I feel like so maybe it's not as much scrutiny. But I consider scrutiny probably might be right about. But I feel like ring culture's always been there in all sports. The NBA might have the hotter spotlight because
I think it has too.
especially now more with NBA because it's more player empowerment. The players run that league, man.
If it wasn't there, you wouldn't have pictures of Jordan with all his rings on,
absolutely,
and other players with all their rings on.
Right, yeah.
Again, it wasn't just them though. Yes, Jerry West. Jerry West is the logo, right? Rest in peace, Jerry West, the logo of the NBA. He's 1-9 in the finals. Some people didn't like that he was going to be the logo because he was 1-9 in the finals. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people built now. What's my man's name? Will Chamberlain's got 2 rings, but they knock him for the ones that he lost to Boston. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have played better. So yeah, you're gonna get knocked down. Now, you know, Karl Malone is still considered one of the greats. He's 4th all time in scoring. He don't got a chip. They don't talk about it as much because he just wasn't. I don't think Karl Malone's box office. Karl Malone's a superstar, but he wasn't the version of superstar. What it is? Yeah, Iverson was box office. I got to go see Allen Iverson tonight.
Breaking niggas' ankles, all type of shit.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think also like LeBron was on that spotlight, and like James Harden's on that spotlight now because James Harden don't got a championship, and James Harden was box office. He's still considered box office. You go pull up and go see James Harden play. You know what I'm saying? Reggie Miller, you pulled up to see him play. You know what I mean? So that and T-Mac as well, Tracy McGrady, you pulled up to see him play. So I think what I say is, yes, the criticism might not be as harsh on other sports. Like you look at baseball players, Tony Gwynn, rest in peace. Ernie Banks, rest in peace. Carl Yastrzemski, rest in peace. Great players who never won. Ichiro Suzuki never won one. Ken Griffey Jr., arguably one of the greatest baseball players to ever live. Some people might have him as the greatest baseball player ever. He didn't win one. He doesn't get as much scrutiny. You're right. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe that's more of a team. And those sports, it's like a team sport where you really like baseball and football and even hockey. You really are reliant. You're more reliant on your teams. It's really all pieces that got to work like an assembly line. Connect like one well-oiled machine. Basketball, one player could take over and kind of steal the show of a series. You know what I'm saying? In the 2006 NBA Finals, Dwayne Wade, yeah, he needed everybody else, but Dwayne Wade took over that series and won the final. You know what I'm saying? LeBron, what him and Kyrie did games 5, 6, and 7 against the Warriors, took over that final. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why it's a little more scrutiny. But like I said, I think he's saying ring culture, like it's you might be pointless, but it's been around. It didn't just start with LeBron. It didn't start with Jordan. It started way back in the day. It's been around. You know what I'm saying? And you look, you're like, yeah, come on. Look at some of the greats in the NFL who hasn't won one. Eric Dickerson, he's the Russian leader, ain't got one. LaDainian Tomlinson, Larry Fitzgerald, Barry Sanders, Bruce Smith. Remember him, 4-time Buffalo to the Super Bowl, lost all 4 in a row. Obviously, Dan Marino, Chris Carter. You know what I'm saying? Adrian Peterson, J.J. Watt. Like, so there's some guys on here, and I get it. They didn't get criticism, but they trust me, man. It's on their minds, and you know, that's definitely something that they wish they could get one. You know what I mean? And it's definitely something that's left blank to people. You know, maybe that's why people don't put them and mention them in the same breath because they don't got a championship. You know what I mean? So anyway, all right. Game 7 is the night, NBA Finals. OKC hosting the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton might be a little banged up, but he played well in Game 6. OKC's at home. So, man, who do you got? Lexicon. Game 7. Who is it?
I'm going Pacers. Midwest shit.
So what is? Oh yeah. OKC's what? Southwest. So you can't do Southwest.
Like, I said Midwest. That's Southwest.
Yo. All right. You got Indiana. Man, it's tough, man. It's tough.
I was gonna go with Indiana, but I don't want to go with him because this nigga going with him. No, I'm not fucking Pacers all day.
Okay.
Like, they got to take these niggas out because they took us out. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah,
They didn't take us out, but after New York took us out and the Pacers took New York out, I gotta go with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go to OKC, man. They're at home. Game 7, yes. They're the better team on paper. I'm gonna go with them. They're the more talented team.
You just different like that Yankee hat you got on.
Yankee hat's not different, man. This is a championship. 27 of them, baby boy. How many did the Brewers got? How many did the Bruins got? How many did the Brewers got? How many did the Brewers got?
Go ahead, talk on, brother.
Yeah. Thank you. Pretty much. Thank you. All right. So now let's break down this KD trade, man. Right before the finals came, a couple hours before the finals came, trade's done. KD's going to Houston. So the Rockets get KD. The Suns get Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, 2025 first round pick, and then they get 5 future second round picks. You like this, Lex?
I kind of like it, but to me, Durant is getting to that late part in his career right now.
Yeah.
So I don't think nobody is really, I'm not really too hype about it, to be honest with you, because I think he's getting to a part of his career where it's like he's just looking for another, like they rolling the dice with him right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's I'm not saying he's washed up or nothing like that, but I'm just saying he's getting to that point in his career. Like how long he been in the league now? Over
37 is what you're saying. He's 37.
Yeah,
you can't.
So he's floating around, nigga. God damn.
I'm saying though, he's still like he just going everywhere. So it's like they built off his name.
Well, nigga of his stature, he done went to a lot of fucking teams, man.
Well, because again, I don't want to put that on KD, man.
You know what? Let me say this. You know what this era reminds me of him is when players that couldn't get a ring back in the early 2000s, everybody was just getting traded to a certain team just so they could probably get a ring.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a nigga that's fucking that's on his way out the league that he didn't like. He just went to going team until it's over for him.
I think what happened was
that's not the case with him.
No, yeah.
Because he been floating around way before the end. Like he been floating around.
Not really. He was in OKC. He was in OKC for a minute, for a long time, like 9-10 years. Then 8 years or something like that. And then he went to the Warriors for 3 years, and then he went to Brooklyn for 3 years, and then he went to Phoenix. Now he's in Houston. But what I'm saying is the Brooklyn thing, he wanted his own thing. He wanted to win a championship and start something and build his own little dynasty type deal in Brooklyn with Kyrie. Didn't work out. So he has to be traded because it wasn't going to work. And now it's the same thing. Phoenix has no picks. Phoenix has no cap space. They are trapped with this Bradley Beal contract. He's the one who had to go. I think if they had to choose, they would have traded Bradley Beal and not Kevin Durant. But nobody wants Bradley Beal's contract. So if you want to get assets and obviously will leave some money up off your cap, you got to trade Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? Now, hopefully he does stay with Houston. They're working on an extension because he's in his final year of his deal. So I don't know, man. I kind of like. I thought I would have wanted to see. I would have wanted him to go to Minnesota with Ant-Man. I would have loved to see him and Ant-Man together because I feel like and he's good in Houston though. With Fred VanVleet. What is it? Jabari Smith, Amen Thompson, Alperine Şengün. Yeah, they got. So he's got a good cast around him, but think they need one more piece. I think they'll be a contender. I don't think they'll be a 2 seed this year again, but I think they need one more piece to complete it. But I don't know. I would have rather seen him go in Minnesota, even though Minnesota would have probably gutted their team to get him. I don't know. I'd rather see him and Ant-Man do their thing together. That's what I would rather see. But overall, man, whatever. You know what I mean? Good trade. Let's get offseason about to start. We'll see. Hopefully the Brooklyn Nets make some moves. Try to get Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey, the draft this Wednesday. Make sure y'all watch. I'm going to be watching Ace Bailey. Brooklyn, try to get Ace Bailey. Try to get Ace Bailey. Let's go. Out of Rutgers. All right. Lex, man. Your Brew Crew. Down 4 games to the Cubs. Cubs got spanked today, though, by the Mariners. They got spanked.
And that's the thing I was telling Wakil Supreme, bro. I wish you could have been on.
Yeah, we was going to talk more about baseball, but he ain't on.
Yeah, he ain't on right now, but I was telling him the way the schedule is looking, you know what I mean? Like, our schedule is looking pretty nice, and we only like 4 games behind them. So the Central is definitely up for grabs. You know what I'm saying? We definitely going to see because the Cardinals is right on our ass as well.
Right. No doubt. Pat, what's up with Jim Jones, man? What's going
on? So there was a young man that was on a podcast, and it was, I guess, Jim Jones and the Nas thing. They were debating the Nas thing, and I guess the young man was saying that Jim Jones was more influential because of his fashion and blah, 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 blah. So, in response to that, Jim Jones was on the Fat Joe and Jada Kiss podcast. And Fat Joe messy ass brought up the situation. Fat Joe brought up the situation. You know, Jim Jones, he always, I think he gets bashed so much that anytime somebody like brings up anything like that to him, he gets a little offensive. He gonna say he don't, but he do, because he always got to say, "Well, let's not forget, or don't try to don't think that da-da-da-da." Like he always got to defend himself every time, and I don't think that's what Fat Joe was doing. I think just Fat Joe was telling him like, "Yo, listen, it's dope that young man was saying that she was that he thought she was better than Nas, but this nigga had to try to gloat and da-da-da, and it didn't sit too well with the internet's people." So then he went on. It wasn't Shay Shay called Shay Shay, but it was a nightcap.
Nightcap, yep, nightcap.
With Shay Shay and Ocho Cinco, and Shay Shay got in his ass. I ain't gonna hold you. Pause. He got in his ass like a wedgie, and basically they had it back and forth because Shay Shay was like, "Was you smoking?" He was like, "Do you smoke?" And Jim Jones was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, was you high when you said that shit on the Jada Kid podcast?" And they just went back and forth.
I mean, as far as like sports is concerned, I mean, he was on Club Shay Shay, so he got a bag for that, right? They sent him something for that.
He wasn't on Club Shay Shay though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But to be honest,
he told him Shannon told him he wasn't good enough to be on Club Shay Shay.
Hold on, here we go. Look, we actually got a little footage. We actually got some footage of Shannon Sharpe and Jim Jones. Hold on.
You can't. Lyrics that we. I don't know who told you that. Now look, I know you on that good stuff, but you not seeing Nas. Bro, you're not seeing Nas, bro. Let's be real.
You got a bunch of 40 and 50-years in their panties because I said I'm better than Nas.
It don't matter. Look at ain't nobody from Tim said gonna take you over the Nas. But the diplomats, but you. I got. Hold on, Jim.
That's so true. You want to go back? I really mean it. I really mean it, though. We could go back to your history, bro.
But you didn't even
do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. That's sticking up for nothing.
That's a little bit of it. You know what I mean? I don't think Shannon was in his feelings like Jim Jones.
I think Shannon was glazing a little bit though. He was glazing Nas and he kept throwing Jada Kiss in there. Jada Kiss had nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah. I don't know why he did that either. That part I don't get. These podcasts, man. I'm saying like it's anyway. My take on it, like I think Jim took it personal when he was compared to Nas and he felt like why is everybody kind of in shock that someone would compare him to Nas. And obviously, they came at him. They came at him too about Styles P thing, but Styles P basically said Jim don't want that smoke. Styles P was like, "Yeah, nah, you can't. Jim can't rock with me." You know what I mean? Styles P was like, "Nah, you can't. Jim can't mess with me." You know what I'm saying? Like, so Styles is based on the same energy Jim was on. Like, nah, Jim ain't rocking. Jim
But
can't mess with
Yeah,
him.
him and
Jim
Styles
can't.
P shit is like a friendly little
Yeah, that's some big brothers though, so that was nothing.
Yeah.
But the Nas thing also stems from because Jim Jones said like me and Nas ain't cool. Really.
You don't remember the Kofi era?
Yeah, we ain't cool. Like them dudes ain't even really had a conversation or none of that. So that's more personal. You know what I mean? Like again, just like if they said something about Jay-Z, I think Jim Jones would react even worse because obviously him and Jay had issues. Because of Cam, though. He had issue with Nas because of Cam.
But him
you know
and
what I
Jay
mean?
was made up though. He was on Rock Nation and all that.
Was he? Okay. I didn't know. I know him and Nas ain't had a conversation.
If you look at it like this, though, Capo is strategic. When your name is buzzing and it's trending, it's going to get some attention. So them streams is going to go up, more money in the bank. He finds different ways for him to be just up in people's conversation. You know what I'm saying? And we all got to admit, the most content you can create is the main way to get in people's face. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
So I think that's correct. I think that he is. I don't think Jim thinks he's better than Nas at rapping. He gave Nas his flowers. I think he thinks that he was more influential than Nas.
Influential.
Yeah.
Well, he did say on the Club Shay Shay. I mean, in that case, he said I'm everybody mad because I said I'm better than Nas. He did at some point say
he's like I made a boo boo. I mean, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he thinks because of like his fashion choices, and he was influential with that. He got everybody rocking the True Religions when they first came out. Now the shit with the crosses on it. What's that shit called? Damn, how am I already forgetting that?
Gnostic.
Huh?
Gnostic?
Nah, it's everybody rocking it right now. It's called damn. The shit with the crosses on it. I don't even want to dwell on it, but in the pocket chains, he's the one that started niggas wearing fitted gear. So, but at the same time, Nas was kind of influential too. Look with the apparel. You know what I'm saying? Niggas started wearing the skeletons with the brims on them because of Nas. Niggas started wearing fatigues and shit with Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure. Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I mean? Like, but I know niggas was wearing fatigues and shit like that in New York before Nas, but Nas was the nigga that came on in the video with him. When I seen Nas with the camel on and all that shit and whatever. Like, yeah.
Nah,
nigga said the name of the song, nigga going with the Uzi and his army jacket lining.
Nas is definitely Nas is the rapping dude. He has some influence, but you can't deny what Jim Jones' influence was. You can't.
No.
Jim Jones is very influential. You know what I mean? Not just with his lyrics, like you said, fashion, everything. Like everybody was like that Dipset era when they came out. Everybody wanted to dress like them dude. A lot of dudes out here was dressing like them. You know what I'm saying? But when he talk about hits, because he said you'll compare hits, so. What I'm reading, you know what I mean? This is from Billboard.com. So it says, obviously, We Fly High, Pop Champagne. He has, what is it? He has one top 10 hit. Yeah, so he has 2 songs that hit the top 100 and one top 10 hit, no number ones, Billboard. Nas has 27 songs that reached the top 100, 2 top 10 hits, and he has no number ones as well. So it's kind of so what he said was his neck and neck. It is, but it ain't, because Nas has 27 songs in the top 100. He only had one. You know what I'm saying?
But Nas had classic albums. Jim Jones albums ain't classic.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But they're not classic albums.
Right, but again, it's 2 different arguments. Jim Jones made a boo-boo, so he made up for it. He said he was a better rapper than Nas. He's wrong. He said he's wrong on that. It's over. But the influential part, I can't disagree on that, man.
Chrome Heart is the name of the clothing way I was talking about. Chrome Heart.
Yeah, I know you saw. Yeah, Chrome Heart, yo. I had it on my name. I forgot it too. I don't, that's. The dudes is paying like $2,700 for a shirt, leasing them on layaway. Like, I ain't doing none of that. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's time for us to lay away, get up off the show. We got things to do. Catch us on Straight Drop Viral, where we talk about everything. And I mean everything. We talk about stuff here too, but that's no holds. That's more no holds barred on this show. This show we a little PG-13. Straight Drop Viral is all rated R, especially with these 2 guys. With these 2 guys, it's rated R. Man, we talking about everything on there. So come rock with us on that show. Remember, like, subscribe, share, comment.
Support, goddammit.
Support the movement. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. Enjoy Game 7 of the finals. We will see y'all next week. Insane Lex. All the run. It's your boy Mizzo.
Y'all keep it easy out there, man. Peace and blessings. Easy, you heard?
I'ma cross the finish line. I'ma go out there, get mine. As a motherfucking beat drop. Tell you something now, I'm hip hop. Ain't nowhere for hell that I'ma stop. I'ma set it on fire on every block. As I'm pippin' in my fast car. I'm racing like, whoa, I like the NASCAR.